Hello and welcome to my home today. So I am proving to you right now that it doesn't matter if you have all the fancy camera work, if you don't have the best microphone, and if you had to stay home for the day because maybe your child's sick or something, you can still create content, and done is better than perfect. Remember, as long as it's authentic. Authenticity vibrates at a higher frequency than perfectionism. So we just want to be authentic, which I'm going to give you some authentic information right now on why free stuff and consuming free content is costing you literally like hundreds of thousands of dollars, thousands in the beginning, but the longer periods of time that you continue to just binge on free stuff, it really is costing you six figures. Now, let me be clear. This is not to sell you into one of my programs. It's not to pressure you to make you feel like, you're a cheapskate or something and you need to spend a bunch of money with me, anything like that. That is absolutely not my intention. My intention is to highlight for you, bring awareness to, if you're the type of person like I used to be that would just consume free stuff over and over again. And I'm going to explain to you why that was a problem for me. So let's dive into it. Okay. So being free, or I should say not being free, but consuming free stuff. So I like the saying, free isn't always freeing. It's free content that you're binging might be like the exact reason why you're not making the six figures, because you pay attention to what you pay for. So that's problem number one. You can consume, I'm a big fan of doing University on Wheels, where I drive and I consume content. I do that Monday through Friday, no matter what. Saturdays and Sundays, I'm actually listening to music and enjoy my life because my brain needs to like recharge and get back into work mode Monday through Friday. But if I am driving or in the shower or on the treadmill, I am consuming content Monday through Friday that will help me be better and serve you better. So it's great. All the free stuff is great and it's helpful. But when I really moved mountains in my business, no matter whether I was a loan officer or actually being a mentor for entrepreneurs and lenders, no matter what, the free stuff is great as like filler information, little aha moments. But when you actually invest in coaching or you invest in whatever it is, like organized information, and you stop doing the freebies, you're going to get so much more guidance, accountability. You're going to get support. You're going to get the systems and strategy where it's not like you're picking and pulling all these pieces together. So if you're the type that will binge like hours and hours and hours of YouTube stuff for a specific problem that you're having, it's not going to be enough. Again, you pay attention to what you pay for. A little bit about my personal story. I used to download every freebie, watch YouTubes, listen Audibles, podcasts, just a bunch of random stuff. Now, of course, Audibles, I actually paid for those kinds of things, but even that, I was just kind of unorganized, like in an unorganized fashion. I was listening to all of it in pieces. So I listened to a chapter of Traffic Secrets by Russell Brunson. I listened to, a few chapters of Alex Hormozi, one of his books, but that's very unorganized. And when you're the type of person that is always showing up to every freebie, you're getting a lot of unorganized information. And there really is a huge difference between the lever of success that you pull with investing in your business and investing with a specific accountability coach, the support, like an actual systems and strategy that's been done for you, that's been organized, versus just scripting, like picking and pulling and scraping together information and trying to figure it all out by yourself. So free feels like it's progress, which it is, right? It's good to get that information. It's better than nothing, but it doesn't give you always like the actionable steps. So I've had people that have coached me in the past, freebies. I listened to, Shanda Sumter. I listened to her back when she was doing Coffee with Shanda, and I would get up in the morning and listen to her YouTubes in the morning. I would consume her free podcast stuff, and I would just free everything, download her stuff. Like I was in her email. I would read her emails. I was just obsessed with her. Only when I actually paid her for specific system strategy, guidance, coaching, that is when my business took off like a rocket. So the thing with free stuff is like, it's usually kind of general. It's not necessarily tailored to your specific situation. It's just out there. Like if you're having this problem or if you're having that problem, there's overwhelm and confusion that you're going to experience also. Because if you consume all of my free content, let's say you're listening to this now, whether it's on YouTube or podcast or whatever you're seeing it, maybe you're showing up to free masterclasses. That's good. At least it is free, but at least it's one person. When you're out there researching on YouTube and TikTok and you're listening to this podcast and this other podcast, there's too many voices and there's too many opinions and there's way too many different methods. So the confused mind, like that right there, a confused mind is what's going to cost you so much money in itself, because there's too many different methods and things that you're trying to, again, figure all out by yourself. Paralysis by analysis becomes the norm for you. So you're trying to decipher which one makes sense, which free masterclass was the one that, is going to help you blow up your business. And by you attending like one of my like Secrets in the Pro, the Standout Method, Leap, Wake Up to Will, Ignite, if you're in one of my worlds, in one of my parts of my family, it's great to be showing up to the master classes that lead into those kinds of courses, but you're not going to learn, you're going to learn like a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of what you're going to learn when you actually invest. So when there's no real investment, I stayed stuck in learning mode and I never actually truly took action, because I just thought, like, I felt proud of myself that I went on the treadmill and I just listened to somebody's podcast. So once I actually invested, for an example, with Shanda, I got all the training modules. I got to be a part of the private Facebook group. I got to get on and, have the opportunity to be hot seated. It was, again, specifics on systems and strategies. So if you are doing the free stuff, here's another problem that I experienced with myself, is I had no skin in the game. So you're not going to get real results if you don't have skin in the game. You pay attention to what you pay for. I can't say it enough. You don't value what you don't pay for. So if it's free, you're not going to prioritize it. So there's so many different things here that I'm throwing out reasons why it's a problem. If I've had loan officers that have showed up for like 3 years to the same free events, or they paid for it one time and then they just keep showing up for free. Like, I know their names off the top of my head because I've seen them for years. Imagine what that person that showed up to the same event for 3 years and didn't implement anything. They are so much further behind and experiencing such a heavy cost of action compared to where they could be if they said yes. They did the $47 investment. They showed up to the event. They went into one of my programs and they're blowing up their business by now, versus still being stuck in the same place in the same 3-day event that other people are already in President's Club, getting invited on radio shows. They're seasoned in my courses. They've got this sense of community. We're all headed in the same direction. They have skills and tools and knowledge that nobody, no market can take away from them. It's just like, it's such a world of difference between that person that wanted the free stuff and the person that invested and is 3 years ahead of that other one. And I hope this is making sense for you. I always want you to, as you're listening to my content, I want you to be checking in with yourself. Like, does this resonate with me? Let me think of a time where I consumed free content versus when I paid for something. Which one did I pay more attention to? Which one did I get more strategy for? Which one did I get more results? It cracks me up. This just really gets me. If there is somebody, if you go and like Reddit, I'm going to call myself out, which I made peace with it, by the way, because my coach said, Tiff, if you ain't shit if you don't have somebody that's bagging on you on reddit.com. He's like, look me up on reddit.com. Like, there's a whole, I won't say his name, but there's a whole mountain of people like shitting on me. And, but for every 1,000 people he helps, there's going to be 5 or 6 or 25 or whatever, how many people that like are starting a thread and commenting. And really, they're just bitter a lot of the times because they can't afford to invest with them and make themselves better. So they decide to call out how much the program costs and, just bag on them. And they haven't even invested to know what it's like on the other side after that investment's made. So I had somebody said, she's selling her program for 10K and blah, 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 blah. Yes, and you're a loan officer listening to this or watching it. You're a salesperson. You understand how you get compensated for grinding it out, closing a loan, and you get 6, 8, 10,000. Some people, some of my students, their average commissions 21,000, 15,000. You deserve every bit of that money. And this is just for a 30, 45, 60-day transaction as you being a loan officer, helping somebody refinance or get into a house or buy a, investment property, whatever it is. So for me, giving so much value and showing up live for 6 months, a year, depending on what the courses are, 12 weeks, for whether it's 18,000, one of my courses is, it's 35,000, sometimes 50,000 to work with me one-on-one, depending on what this person's looking for with me. And I only give away 3 of those a year because I give my whole heart and soul when it's one-on-one, especially at that higher ticket. So for me to be charging an investment of, let's say 10,000, like the person on Reddit or whatever said, I don't even know who the person is, but I don't recognize the name. It is so unbelievably valuable. If I can help you close one more loan over and above what you already are closing by giving you all of my systems, my strategies, my time management stuff, the mindset, the phrases like done is better than perfect, just right there alone is going to help you close one more loan to cover the coaching. What's wrong with that? You're in sales. You're in a service-based business. You're selling a product, right? I'm serving you with time management, marketing strategies, mindset, money mindset trainings that will absolutely shape your entire career. And in some cases, shaping people's lives, right? We spend like 8 hours a day working Monday through Friday, sometimes even longer than that. Your work becomes such a huge percentage of your life. And if I can't help you make your business better, your bank account's not going to look stronger. Your mindset maybe isn't going to be as strong, or you're not going to have that confidence. You're going to be stuck in limiting beliefs. So you better believe that if you're investing 10,000 to work with me, absolutely it's worth it. It's worth that 1, 2, 3 extra loans that you're going to get even in the first few months. So think about that when it comes to consuming free content for years versus actually investing. Okay. When you take the freebies, you're only getting the breadcrumbs. You're not getting like the full meal, so to speak. So that's another problem. And why that's a problem is because you end up having to try to figure it all out by yourself. So frameworks, tips, mentorship, support. You step into this higher version of yourself when you understand the investment versus a liability when it comes to mentorship or coaching. And, again, I really wanted to share this with you because I know that I am not the only person that used to chase freebies and not implement. And I also know that I'm not the only mentor out there that has the same people showing up, which, I'm always honored because for you to give me the most important thing, which is your time, I'm always honored for that. The pain point for me is that I know that I can help you. I know that I can help you. And I know other mentors go through the same thing. And it's like this painful thing when you see somebody not believe in themselves or not trust the process and not be willing to invest in themselves. You know that that's a pattern that's going to, until I pattern interrupt that, it's going to block them from closing more loans, making more money, building their business, building their dreams. So it's painful. But another mentor, I saw her do a podcast, and she was saying something that this person wanted, it was like $88.88 or something. And she wanted a refund because it gives her too much anxiety thinking about opening the course. It gives her anxiety. So she wanted her money back. So the coach that was talking about this scenario, I love her boldness too. If I can just be this bold one day, but this is her jam, right? This is her authentic self. She's just a bold, badass bitch. So I love it. So she said, are you kidding me? This person, she called it out. She didn't say the person's name, but she's like, this person wants a refund. She has consumed my content. She's a wealth consciousness coach, by the way. She has consumed my content probably for ages for free, my podcast, my free trainings, all this stuff. She buys like $88.88 course, and it gives her too much anxiety to think about opening the course because it just stresses her out, like learning new things. So she wants her money back. She said, with that kind of mindset, you will always be broke. And she called it out. And I love her for that because it's so true. The types of, the only time that I have somebody that cancels and like one of my memberships, pretty much the only times are the people that never even opened it up, never even logged in. I could see there's a little blue line that shows me when somebody's watched a video in its entirety, or I know if they show up to the coaching calls or not. I start recognizing people's names or faces or their comments in the chat. So the people that end up canceling are the ones that never implemented. They invested and they never used it. When you invest and you actually implement, you take action and follow through, oh my God, your business is going to explode. So there's a energetic shift and a momentum that gets created when you actually spend your money. Like money is an exchange of energy. So I want you to know that too. If you're still consuming, it's like kind of like that law of contribution, law of reciprocity. Like imagine if I went to church every single Sunday and for years and years and years, which I have, and never donated $1. Imagine the magic that started happening when I realized that. I'm like, oh my gosh, this person is up here speaking, which public speaking freaks me out. I still do it, but it freaks me out like actually in person. This person gets on stage every Sunday and provides a great message that has changed my life, changed my business, changed my relationships, it even helped me get a divorce, right? Imagine that, a pastor helping you get a divorce. Like, who would have thunk? So I had a moment like years ago and I went, wait a minute, I'm consuming all this free information and I'm not tithing, I'm not giving back. What if these people went away? There would not be any free information anymore because nobody's donating. So I started donating. It was like $44. Then it was $444. So now I'm getting to the point where I'm giving $4,444. Someday I want to add another 4 onto that. So it's very important for you to realize that kind of like law of contribution, the law of reciprocity. There's basic success principles of the entrepreneurial spirit, which I teach in Wake Up to Wealth, that when you're willing to like give, whether it's value, money, donate your time, whatever it is, like the magic happens in the universe. It really is like this energetic momentum that happens when you start trusting yourself and trusting that your money is going somewhere that's going to help it grow and not block you from making more of it. Yes, there's wasted time, wasted revenue, missed clients, missed opportunities, stolen confidence when you don't trust yourself enough to invest because you're thinking, I don't have enough time. What if it doesn't work? Things haven't worked in the past. But I promise you, when you decide to say yes to yourself and show up, that momentum creates millions. Like the energy that starts happening, the things that drop into your lap, it really is like this weird kind of like amazing, beautiful law of attraction that happens when you say yes to yourself and you say yes to the universe. My coaching, my office, Tiffany Rose Coaching in Danville, my best friend Janelle and I, we were drinking wine on a Friday. I stopped by to get a camera from her for one of my coaching things. This was years ago. And I said, wouldn't it be great to have an office like this right next to you? Like you have this beautiful place that you hold trainings in. She has a big screen TV in the back. She has her little offices, her front desk. I mean, she's like a little wine bar, a cute thing. That's why we were drinking wine. And it was just the cutest thing. And I said, oh my gosh, what if I got the space right next to you? How cool would that be? And we said at the same time, it was Farmers Insurance back then. And we both at the same time said, can farmers just bounce? And I'm like, yeah, bounce farmers. But we were kind of like kidding. And she called for me Monday morning. Remember, this was on a Friday night. She called for me Monday morning and asked the property manager, hey, what's going on with the place next to me? Are they leaving anytime soon? And they said, no, they've been there 10, 15 years. Like they're not going anywhere. 2 hours later, kid you not, Farmers Insurance put in their notice. So the property manager didn't even tell us for another 24 hours because she thought, what did they strong arm them? Like slip them a note, like threaten them or something? There's no way this could be possible. She talked to the owner of that particular unit and or office branch, I should say. And he said, no, we're actually just consolidating to this beautiful new office. And post-COVID, we don't really even need this anymore. So no big deal, right? This just, I love it. Give it to whoever called about it. So they left. Now, I want you to hear this. After 15 years of this place, this branch being there, being Farmers Insurance for 15 years, the second me and Janelle decided to say Farmers just bounce or whatever, within 2 hours, 2 business hours, they actually put in their notice. I had this moment where I'm like, wait a minute, maybe I should just keep doing this out of my kitchen. Maybe I should, do events out of my living room and, not have this overhead and not pay for a separate unit. And all my limiting beliefs started popping up because I wasn't willing to invest in my business. So I had to come to Jesus with myself. And I'm like, Tiff, why would you worry about, like, failure is kind of like an option, especially with the online world. It's just about like failing forward to studying the data, showing up consistently, making your business better, making your business better all the time. So why would I be afraid to take on that monthly rent? I'm just going to do it. So I took the leap. And what's so crazy is once I got into that energy of like, I'm going to be a boss baller and this rent's going to be a drop in the bucket, I started taking different and more aligned action, assuming that I was going to be a 7-figure business coach. So me sitting in my kitchen for free, I'm sitting in my living room right now doing this, but that's just a coincidence because my son wasn't feeling good. So I had to be home, but failure or, not handling something or finding a workaround is not an option for me. So I still wanted to create this content today. So it's good. But I promise you, I have Tiffany Rose coaching down the way. And it's been one of the best things that I've ever done. My camera quality got better. I felt more like I was a professional. I can have peace without my kids coming in and out when I'm in the middle of a 3-day event that I used to do on this TV right here. So imagine, like, again, when you're willing to invest in your business, it's showing the universe that, like, you trust yourself, that you trust your decisions, and the universe is always conspiring for us. And when you start to take big jumps and trust the universe, I'm telling you, the universe will provide, and so will your coach. So hope this was helpful. I hope this shed some light on you opening up your eyes to, like, does this resonate with you? Is this something that I do all the time, consuming all this unorganized information? Or is it time to take the leap and actually, like, go all in with organized mentorship, organized coaching, whether it's me, whether it's another coach? Awareness is the first step to solving a problem. So now I've helped you become aware of why free stuff isn't always the best and how it's costing you tens of thousands, even 6 figures in closed loans. I made high multi-6 figures when I was a loan officer as a top producer. So imagine if I had no guidance, no leadership, no coach, no nothing. I was just on YouTube scrolling and studying what other loan officers were doing and, just being unorganized about it. Once I invested, my business blew up as a loan officer and as a 7-figure business coach. So I hope this was helpful. Go invest in something. Even if it's $11.11, go do it and watch what happens. It's going to be magical. So hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching. Follow for more. Share this with a friend. Comment. Book a call with my team. Whatever it is, get in my world. And I promise I will help you blow up your business.
Bye.